This all led Hufford to develop what he calls the experiential approach to the study of belief. And at its core, all this means is that sometimes when people tell us an account of an anomalous experience, they'll tell us that something really weird happened to them. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they did have an experience. Sometimes something really weird did happen. And instead of rejecting it out of hand, we scholars should assume that there was some experience that was important enough to the person that they're now going to narrate it for us. That doesn't mean we have to accept a post hoc supernatural interpretation of the event, but we should begin not by rejecting it out of hand. That, again, that probably seems really obvious to you guys given the work that you do, but this was an important point for Hufford to make and has guided folklorists in dealing with the supernatural ever since then.
Let me add something to that, and this is a bit of color. So
Sure.
we occasionally are requested by individuals to come and do what we would consider a private investigation, something in someone's home. They're having an episode of some kind, and they've found us, however may be, and we're certainly willing to do this. We help whenever we can. Um, a particular couple were having issues with several things in their home, but one of them is a lot of what you've described, and what we would call sleep paralysis, but also some lucid dreams, just erratic behavior, and all of it is occurring either at night or in the waking and sleeping window, getting to bed, getting up. And one of the things that we do, of course, we interview. So we walk through the situation they're experiencing, and then we were able to do a sweep of the property of the home with equipment. And one of the simple things is a K2 device. It measures electromagnetic energy. And as we got to the bedroom, we found that their bed was against a wall, which is right next to a closet, sliding door. And opening the closet, right there is surprisingly an electrical box. And that box was popping the device all the way up to max. It was red. And and everybody, this is one of those moments where everybody deals with certain things differently, environmental, elemental things. But one of the key factors with extra electromagnetic energy is it can create all of the cases that they were dealing with in their night, and they were sleeping inches away from it essentially. So, you know,
Oh,
a truly environmental thing.
yeah.
And our recommendation was to rearrange the room so that the bed can get farther away. And, obviously, they weren't going to get the electrical box rewired or anything like that. It was unreasonable. It was a rental unit as well, so an apartment unit. So, we're going to have to make the best of it, but
Yeah.
adjust. And in follow up shortly after, a couple weeks later, we found that that part of their experiences had lessened a lot simply by moving the bed to another wall across the room. And we don't ever want to tell somebody that what they're experiencing isn't true to them.
Hmm.
That is the horriblest thing we could possibly do. But what we'll say is that there are times when it's going to be an environmental situation, you know, and we will try to take away, and this goes to the term paranormal or supernatural either way. Paranormal means it's beyond normal. And we will try to find all of the normal things that it could be first. So if someone's experiencing a cold spot, has the HVAC system kicked on at the place? Is there now airflow moving in the room? Or is there lighting? And the Boobies Brewery space is a great example, especially the ballroom. It's on a street, it's a public street, so cars
Yeah.
go by all the time, and that creates light play and shadows and so forth. And we have to take that into consideration as much as we do the fact that someone had an experience. And if we can take away all the things that were normal or natural, what's left is either paranormal or supernatural, beyond natural, right? So I have no issue with either of those terms, and I think they both are very appropriate because it's telling you it's something that's just beyond the norm.